the infrastructure for the digital takeoff of this country by providing over 1,000 kilometers of fiber optics from Accra to Boku and a 300 kilometer radius Accra-Tema fiber optics. And that is the base for whatever you call digitalization. So the people who are talking about digitalization, you should ask them what they have done to be able to push that agenda. So the next NDC government, we know that in the next 10, 15, 20 years going, the world is changing. It's going to be a world of robotics and digitization. So we want to prepare the next generation. So we want to create what we call the Digital Jobs Initiative, which will create about 300 skilled employment opportunities for the youth. So the youth, if you are looking for a government that can transform and create job opportunities in the digital space, you can count on John Mama, because he actually put the infrastructure in place and he has a vision. We're saying that fintech, financial technology, has also become a major growing area. And so we are putting a seed capital of $50 million US so that we can establish a fintech growth fund. Again, we are the ones that stated in our manifesto that we're going to train 1 million coders. We have seen our opponents, after we put it in our manifesto and launch it at the youth manifesto, they've now gone to copy it and say they're going to train 1 million. They stole it from us. The original idea is from us. 1 million coders for the digital skills, because some of the major companies, before they come into a country, they do what we call a digital literacy scan. So if they see that majority of the young people have that digital literacy, then they'll come and establish their companies physically here, or they do outsourcing where you can be sitting in your home and be working from home and making money. And then with the private sector led, and I said all this, we've started engagements already with some of the key players. They want to invest about $3 billion US in the ICT sector so that you can open new job opportunities, data analytics, cyber security, artificial intelligence, data governance, data production. These are innovative jobs that come with digitalization. So
we have to bring this to a close. Just a few quick things. I know you would have loved to talk a lot more about the manifesto, but just away from the manifesto before we close this. One, are you impressed with preparations so far? Looking at what your party has in place for the elections, they're just about 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Is the party ready?
Oh yes. Let me commend the current team. In our time, they separated the elections directory from the IT team. And that was one of the challenges that we had. So in my handing over notes, we proposed that it should be merged. And fortunately, leadership have merged it, so we now have one elections
Director of Elections and
IT. It makes the work very, very, very simple because you have a complete overview. In my time, I was Director of Elections. At the close of polls, my election directors and agents now submitted everything to the IT. And I didn't have any control.
That was out of your hand.
It was out of my hand, and it was very frustrating. But today, the Director of Elections has control over both the IT, and so he can have an overview and know what is going on. And if you look at the systems that have been put in place, huge improvements. People have been trained twice already. In our time, there were challenges that I don't want to go into, and a vast improvement. So I'm confident that on the D-Day, our people will deliver. We should just not be complacent. For me, let me just say that this is the most dangerous time in any election. 17 days to an election is very dangerous. So
what makes it dangerous?
It's dangerous because you see, you don't want to make any error. It's just like in a football match. You are winning, you are leading by 2-0 or 2-1. That is where you should be careful. Because if you make the mistake and the opponent scores, then the momentum gets back to him. To your opponent. So we need to ensure that all the things that we're doing, we intensify it. And let me comment, everybody is working. Bro, I've never seen this kind of campaign before. You have the flag bearer, you have the running mate, you have the chairman, then you have the youth wing, you have the women's wing, you have everybody, Victor Smith and his team, you have Alaji Sinari and his team, you have, all kinds of teams.
I'm impressed with the active involvement of everybody. The kind of work being done
out there, and it's all voluntary. People are just going. Me too. When I come, I go around the regions. When I shot, then I come and mobilize. Go again. I'll go again this weekend. So it's so intense. I've never seen it before. The house to house, the door to door, the street campaign, the raise the flag activations. Oh my goodness! So we should not slow down. We should continue and be prepared. And I can tell you that with what I'm seeing, come December 7, 2025, if we'll be smiling, God will grant us a victory, but we must take the victory. A quick one on prophecy, because it's something that is going around.
Okay.
People ask, oh, so there's been prophecies and, so we've won already, or do you believe the prophecy? Whether I believe or not is another matter. But the point is that the Bible, the source of everything in Christianity, the Bible tells us in 1 Timothy chapter 1, 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 18, it says, and I want to read it, 1 Timothy 1, it said, this charge I commit to you, my son Timothy, according to the prophecies previously made concerning you, that by them you may wage the good warfare.
So you're a believer in prophecies?
Yes, but there are principles.
What if the prophecy says that they will beat you?
No, the prophecy say we will win. You understand? No,
but there are some prophecies that say
okay, so even if the prophecy says they will beat us, I also know from the word of God that it can be overturned. It's biblical, it's not in the Bible.
So even the prophecies that says you win,
yes,
can be overturned.
Oh, if you sleep, it's here, it's in black and white though. They say wage a good warfare. So far, we are waging the warfare, but we shouldn't slack. We should keep on fighting till the last day, and victory will surely be ours. But the tendency of some people to say, oh, prophecy has come, so we have won, or they say we won't win, so we are losing. No, it doesn't work like that. Because you see, there are also people who don't believe in anything at all. How come that business? There are people who do business, they don't even believe in God, and yet they are successful. There are natural laws that when you follow, if you get 100 cedis, don't use all for trophy and girls. Save some. It's a natural law. If you do it, you will get money. You become rich. Do you understand me? So if you pray all the tongues in the world, you get your 100 cedis and you use it for trophy, you will be poor.
Let me conclude on the matter of sports. I know your memories when it comes to your work in the sports sector. I'm mixed.
Yes.
I'm mixed.
Yes.
But then I'm sure it also created. Did you like sports before you made sports minister? Were you a big fan?
I would say my father. Actually, it's in the genes.
Okay.
I was not too much into it. My favorite sport, it will surprise you, was boxing.
Okay.
I will sit up and watch every boxing tournament, even up to today. Every boxing tournament, from Azuma Nelson to what boxing. But my father, when he was a student at KNUS2, I think he was one of the few, a pharmacy student, he was an active player for Kumasi Asante Kotoko.
Oh, okay.
The record is there. My father was a player, Mr. Elvis Afriyie Ankrah, until he broke his leg. So my father, in his latter days, he was limping.
Okay.
So he used to follow Kotoko everywhere, wherever they are going. He eats, drinks Kotoko. So it's in our blood. If you see my brother, is into sports. But I was not too much into but once I was given the duty and responsibility, I then had to deliver. And there's so much that we did, but unfortunately, people forget. Well, if I've forgotten all that, we beat Egypt by 6 goals to 1. Nobody has beaten Egypt by 6 goals to 1 before. Then we went to the tournament, and the players. You see, that's the problems we are having today. A major part of it is that we took players to a tournament, and the players insisted that what the government was giving them as appearance fee, 82,500, was not sufficient. So they needed 100,000. They insisted that it should be given to them, otherwise they won't play. When that matter was resolved, it's okay. Cabinet decision. Mr. Atta was at the tournament with me. So when I briefed him, he spoke apparently to his boss, and then they said, okay, you give them the 100. After that, then they now insisted that they wanted the money in cash. That is if you want to talk about Brazil World Cup summary, that is the matter. That's the root cause. And they insisted and they threatened to boycott the next match. In fact, they boycotted 2 training sessions. So I was torn between tell them to go to hell or find a way of getting the money. So I called National Security. We got an Air Force aircraft to bring the money. And you saw the money. They cased the money. That when we came back, because we were emotional, majority of Ghanaians were so emotional rather than analytical, the focus was on me.
Yeah.
Hey, the minister, he's going to buy coconut, complete rubbish on all the fabrications. So we never looked the players in the face and dealt with that problem.
Okay.
So it became a growing problem because no player player should behave like that.
Okay.
They were not counseled, cautioned, or reprimanded. So it became a culture in the team.
Oh, okay.
Okay, entitlement. And this is what has brought us this far.
Oh, so you're saying that culture that was developed by the way the Brazil team was handled?
Exactly. It was not.
It's what is eating away the Black Stars.
It was not. Unfortunately, unfortunately, this new crop of players are innocent. They were not part of it. Even Jordan, even though he was part of that team, he was not part of it. Was a small clique of players, just 3, 4, 5 of them who were instigating all these things.
Okay.
Fortunately, they are no longer part of the team. You understand me? So I want to say that the things that are in our control, Ghanaians, let's forgive them. Okay. I have forgiven them long ago. I didn't know that some of the players were even politicians. I didn't know. I thought I was dealing with normal players, not knowing they were doing politics. If we qualify for the World Cup, it will inure to the benefit of the NDC and John Mahama. Some too were saying if we qualify for the World Cup, Kwesinya Techi will have a third term. All kinds of horrible permutations.
You are now finding out all this?
Oh, I've known all this since all these years.
That there were players who were, it was about politics for partnership.
Why? Please, you know, when you're an adult, you know everything you can say. There are things I can't say in public. You understand me? You know, part of the problem they are dealing with are things that they don't even understand.
Those who are currently running.
Yes, those who understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. Parts, Of course, you have technical issues. You have, but the player attitude. For a player to realize that if you are called to the national team, it's an honor. You should even play for free. But if government gives you something, take it. Don't hold the nation to ransom. You know. So that's one part. Then, of course, the technical issues. You know, the FA. I mean, we all saw what was happening. The previous FA, we said so many things were not going right. Today, the current FA, can they really look at us and say that they've done better? That's the worst performance in how many years? 20 years. No, it's not acceptable. But hey,
can things be turned around? And what do you think?
Of course, it can be turned around. When you get we need a new government. That's the bottom line. Okay. A new government, a new minister that will come in and put things.
Because you are saying that if the coach goes, that will help.
It could be parts, but if the coach goes, and I wouldn't mind if because the track record shows that he hasn't performed that much. But those who appointed him, well, it's up to them. But if the coach goes, but the fundamental issues are not dealt with, we may. But you see, a new coach with a new vision also has to enforce that discipline and that mindset. Do you understand me?
Because I think we have a World Cup qualifier. Is it March? Yes.
So
what can be done to at least make sure that too?
Well, people are paid money to take those decisions. They should take those decisions. I'm looking for.
No, but I just want to view.
I'm looking for an election.
If there was one thing,
you see, one thing. Unfortunately, when you have held sensitive positions and you have access to a lot of information, it's not everything that you can say publicly. That's unfortunately. There are things that I can say if people would, want to listen. Okay, we can talk about it behind the scenes. Okay. You understand me? And give some direction. Because I said something very significant, that some of the problems are self-inflicted, interference by FA executives and all those things, they are there. Players, attitude, they are there. But some of the things they are dealing with, they themselves, they don't understand. Those who understand should come and should understand.
This is Elvis Afriyie Ankrah. Thank you very much for your time. And on that note, we